Yo, what's up guys? Sean back here with another banger of a video. This time we are featuring the compound bow. It's your pump shotgun, but in primitive form. With our compound bow, we have the usual choices of arrows. We have the wooden, bone, but this time we have the fire arrow, a fuel-soaked arrow, ignited by aiming into a fire source. This description is completely invalid because if you draw in your bow, as I can demonstrate right here, it will flame up and you'll be able to shoot it nonetheless. So that statement right there is pretty invalid. No, I'm not going to start a wildfire of that in case you are curious. Now today, we're starting off with just the classic regular wooden arrow. Now with your compound bow, you can use it from close range. I can demonstrate what it would be like to have an enemy there with a stone barricade, which thankfully I can prepare with some stone. It takes 100 stone to make some stone barricades. In this video, I'm on a creative build server. I can make quite a few. Let's say I place my stone barricade right there as our target, and let's just say maybe what 20 meters away, and I start using it. And of course, I'm gonna land some shots. You can use it regularly. People like these sights. I'm personally not the biggest fan. It kind of makes it hard to aim, but I see the appeal. I see the appeal. Now, using your compound bow, there's two ways to shoot. You know, the usual fire. You know, not always that accurate. You have the jump shot, the draw your arrow kind of weird back. You can also do this while running, as you can see. And for the third one, you have your charge shot, which you draw back the bow, wait until the white bar gets all the way to max, and then you fire your shot. People mainly use a compound bow for the charge shot, but the other two options are there for you. You can also do the running shot on the hunting bow, which if you haven't seen my video yet on it, you can check it out now. Now back here, you can use your wind arrow with the charge, but the thing is about the charge, it's good for killing geared guys and high tier players. But if you move 1 inch, as you see, that white bar will go down. You'll lose that charge and lose the chance to kill that greasy looking AK guy. So what people do to counter this usually is to take on your target from a range. Now here I could use my fly command, which you wouldn't have access to this in vanilla, but just for demonstration purposes, I can utilize it here and explain to you what distance a player might use it on. Let's say there's a geared guy, he's raiding a little 2x2 down here, he's raiding a little solo player, there's 3 of them out there, there's 1 of you. You stand no chance because you're bad at the video game, but you're gonna try anyways. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your compound bow, you're gonna charge it up on him and see if you land the shot. You're gonna shoot your compound bow, they're all 3 gonna turn around and immediately take your head off. But we're gonna see if you landed your 1 shot on them, which you actually did. But their hitbox isn't going to be this big, so compared to where the other arrows are, you miss by a big margin. Well, this kind of applies to the bone arrow as well. You'd think maybe with the bone arrow, the sights would change, but no, it's still the regular arrow sight, which is kind of confusing, but still works. But at the same time, it kind of makes using bone arrows and the compound bow virtually useless because you can't see the bone head, which mainly usually helps you aim. You can use the high velocity arrow. This is also a favorite of the compound bow guys who who camp on top of the hill and rain arrows on you while you're trying to make your 2x1 as a naked. They take their high velocity arrow and they just charge it up on you. And the reason why they like high velocity arrows is because they travel faster. Traveling faster means there's less prediction in your target moving. So let's say I'm shooting a bear. If I have to shoot a little bit ahead of it to land the shot, but I don't know exactly how far ahead. With the high velocity arrow, it minimizes how much I have to shoot further ahead and helps me land the shot. So let's just say, you're down there, you're naked, you got your rock, you got your stone hatchet, building plan hammer, you're trying down your base, and the compound bow guy just nabs a shot on you. And as you can see, it traveled much faster, and actually, if this was a body of a person, that landed right on the dime, because I was shooting at people's toes, but up here I actually landed a nice grueling chest shot. Now usually taking your regular arrows in your compound bow, this will be able to down players with hazmats and coffee can helmets. All primitive and coffee can helmets are to prey on this. The 2 items technically, which one of them isn't really used, but the 2 items that are not vulnerable to this is the heavy plate helmet, which is a weird Viking-like helmet. I'm pretty certain you've seen it before. I'm not really going to demonstrate it. Or the classic metal headpiece, the metal plate helmet, which I'm pretty certain you've seen on a geared guy with an AK. They'll run with it. Be a favorite amongst geared guys, but unfortunately, a really long time ago, the admins and Rust stuff saw how OP it was and nerfed it, so your movement speed is really slow. I can actually demonstrate it here. Now, as you see, I put this on, my movement speed is none. And as you can see, it's a grueling 90% head protection. Absolutely to drool for, but that's not allowed. They nerfed it, so it's, as they say, gone with the dust. As for a meta, never gonna see it again. Unless, you know, they all of a sudden bring it back, which would be really weird. But anyways, you can use it with the regular arrow. There, like I said, the regular arrow will kill anyone from primitive to full metal. Well, not exactly full metal, but coffee can. You can also use it with a fire arrow. This is the first time I'm actually introducing a fire arrow. You can use it on a honey bow or a crossbow. It has a bigger hitbox, just like the bone arrow. And you know, you can also shoot people. As you can see, it erupts it in a fiery ball that does deal damage if you stand in it. Your enemy, you can't really move in it as well. As you can see, your movement is limited. It's as if you're just crouching the entire time. You can use this from a high ground stance. It's pretty effective. People like, you know, they also like to go on top of their rock, you know, shoot at the little naked trying to hit the tree, take their compound bow and fire arrow and shoot them. The one problem is that for some reason you don't see the bone arrow head, yet you see this weird flaming tip on the fire arrow, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially, you know, if you're trying to kill a roof camper base. Kill the guy from the roof camper base, you won't be able to see him. But it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, looks like I landed that shot. Right. That just explains how great the compound bow is. But there's some drawbacks to the compound bow, like especially if you're on ground. A close range compound bow will do as much damage as a regular hunting bow. It used to not be like this. It used to do less damage, but because it was so unpopular and not very favorited amongst the Rust players, they decided to give it this advantage, which even now, it isn't really utilized that much. It's usually for the long range attacks, which 90% of the time won't work anyways. But for some reason, people still like to use it, and they still like to shoot things with it. I don't get why. One thing I highly disregard about the compound bow is honestly just the sights. I don't like it. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know if they have compound bow skins. I don't think they do yet. So you can't even skin it to maybe have like a more colorful sight. This is just all you get. And that's pretty much it for the compound bow video. I thank you for sticking with me to the end of the video. If you want to like or subscribe, you can. If you want to check out my other videos, I'll have them linked down below. And until next time, that's Alpha Male Sean checking out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.